Harvard, 2003. A world of intellectual titans, of legacies whispered in the hallowed halls, of futures preordained. But beneath the veneer of tradition, a digital revolution was about to ignite. It began, as so many seismic shifts do, with a single, sharp, and deeply personal wound. A conversation, a breakup, a spark of raw, unbridled energy that would reshape the very fabric of social interaction. This is the story of Mark Zuckerberg and the birth of Facebook. A story of ambition, betrayal, and the complex, often contradictory nature of connection in the digital age. The opening scene, a rapid-fire exchange between Mark and Erica Albright, is a masterclass in character exposition. Mark, the brilliant but socially awkward programmer, armed with a razor-sharp intellect and a biting wit, yet seemingly incapable of navigating the complexities of human relationships. Erica, sharp, intelligent, and unimpressed by Mark's intellectual grandstanding, delivers the first and perhaps most crucial blow. You're gonna go through life thinking that girls don't like you because you're a nerd. And I want you to know, from the bottom of my heart, that won't be true. It'll be because you're an asshole. This exchange sets the stage for the entire film, revealing the core of Mark's character. A man driven by a desire for validation, yet profoundly alienated. A man who seeks connection, but pushes it away with his own acerbic nature. The aftermath of the breakup is a whirlwind of coding, fueled by a cocktail of anger, resentment, and a desire to prove himself. FaceMash, a website that dared to objectify the women of Harvard, pitting them against each other in a digital beauty contest. It was a crude, misogynistic act, yet it was also a display of raw programming prowess. The servers crashed, the campus erupted, and Mark's reputation was forever altered. This act, born of a personal slight, would become the catalyst for something far greater. It demonstrated Mark's ability to manipulate the digital landscape, to bend it to his will, and it caught the attention of those who saw the potential for something more. Enter the Winklevoss twins, Cameron and Tyler, and their business partner, Divya Narendra. Olympic rowers, signs of privilege, and Harvard royalty. They approached Mark with an idea: Harvard Connection, a social network exclusively for the Harvard community. A platform to connect the elite, to maintain the exclusivity of their world. They saw Mark as a tool, a programmer to execute their vision. But Mark, driven by his own ambitions, saw an opportunity to transcend the limitations of their vision, to create something far more significant. The early days of Facebook were a whirlwind of coding, collaboration, and rapid growth. Mark, the visionary, the architect of the platform. Eduardo Saverin, the loyal friend, the financial backbone, providing the necessary capital and business acumen. Their partnership, initially strong, began to fray as Facebook's popularity exploded. Eduardo, with his traditional business sense, clashed with Mark's relentless pursuit of growth, his willingness to bend the rules, to break the mold. The seeds of betrayal were sown. Then came Sean Parker, the enigmatic, charismatic, and deeply controversial figure. The man who had already disrupted the music industry with Napster. He saw the raw, untamed potential of Facebook, the power to connect millions, to reshape the digital landscape. He became Mark's mentor, his confidant, his devil's advocate. He pushed Mark to think bigger, to abandon the limitations of Harvard Connection, to embrace the global potential of Facebook. Sean's influence was transformative, but it also sowed discord between Mark and Eduardo. Sean's philosophy, drop the just Facebook, it's cleaner, was a clear indicator of the direction he was pushing the company, towards rapid expansion, towards global domination, and towards a complete disregard for traditional business practices. The meteoric rise of Facebook was accompanied by a series of legal battles, accusations of stolen code, and fractured friendships. The Winklevoss twins, feeling betrayed and cheated, sought legal recourse, claiming that Mark had stolen their idea. Eduardo, feeling marginalized and betrayed, also filed a lawsuit, claiming that Mark had diluted his shares and pushed him out of the company. The depositions, a series of tense and confrontational exchanges, became a battleground for truth, for memory, for the competing narratives of the company's founding. The film uses these depositions to explore the subjective nature of truth, the way memory can be distorted by ambition, by resentment, by the desire to rewrite history. Mark Zuckerberg, a complex, enigmatic figure, a man driven by a relentless ambition, a desire to prove himself, to transcend his own limitations. Was he a genius, a visionary, or a ruthless opportunist? The film refuses to provide easy answers. It presents Mark as a flawed, contradictory character, a man who built a platform for connection, yet struggled to connect with those closest to him. His desire for validation, his need to be seen as significant, drove him to create Facebook, but it also alienated him from his friends, his partners, and perhaps even himself. He is a man who seems to crave connection, but also seems to be afraid of it. He hides behind his intellect, his coding, his digital creations, unable to fully engage with the messy, unpredictable world of human relationships. The Social Network is a film about ambition, about the intoxicating power of success, and the corrosive effect it can have on relationships. It's about betrayal, about the way ambition can erode loyalty, about the way friendships can be sacrificed at the altar of progress. And it's about the paradox of digital connection, about the way we can be more connected than ever before, yet feel more isolated than ever before. Facebook, the platform that promised to connect the world, ultimately highlights the limitations of digital connection, the way it can create a sense of intimacy without true emotional depth. The film asks us to consider the cost of our digital addiction, the way we prioritize online interactions over real-world relationships. The supporting characters in The Social Network are not merely pawns in Mark's story, but complex individuals with their own motivations and desires. Eduardo Saverin, the loyal friend, the betrayed partner, represents the traditional business values that Mark and Sean so readily discarded. The Winklevoss twins, the embodiment of privilege and entitlement, represent the old guard, the established order that Mark so vehemently sought to disrupt. Sean Parker, the charismatic disruptor, the mentor, the devil